Back on your Gianna Volpe report, brought to you by Village Overhead Doors in Southold.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That was Linda Nuszen from Windows and Walls in Southold, covering basically You Are My Sunshine, which her son Adam did in WLNG. How many years ago was that?
That was almost 31 years ago when he was 3, yeah.
And Adam, her son, passed away from addiction after a long struggle in November 2015, and they will be having a fundraiser for Look Up for Adam, which is a nonprofit organization, and the Family Service League, which we all know and love out here. And that's going to be on March 12th from 3 to 9 at 89 North in Patchogue. A fundraiser to raise awareness of addiction and support the families affected by the disease. It's never been more important than right now. So many young people are dying. Adam was only 32. And as I understand it, at this event, it's going to be declared National Look-Up Day.
National Look-Up Day, yes.
And it's I guess Congressman Zeldin or one of his representatives will be there. How did you do that?
So, when Adam was little, he would always remind us to look up. We'd be walking in the trails, and he's like, you're all looking down. Look up. There's so much you'll miss if you don't look up. And then as he got older, he would remind us to look up in the trees and the birds, and then the clouds, and then the planets and the galaxies and the nebula and the universe. He was fascinated with looking up. And when Adam was in rehab, and that's where he died. He died while he was in rehab. Our last conversation was to remember to look up, even when you're feeling down. I didn't know that would be our last conversation. And so that's why it's Look Up for Adam.
Unbelievable.
And so last March 12th, on Adam's birthday, I was doodling, and I just wrote National Look Up Day. I don't know where it came from, but I wrote it. And over the past year, I've thought about it and reached out to a few organizations thinking maybe they can help make this happen. And then one day I just wrote a letter to Congressman Zeldin's office, and I got a letter back saying, okay, let's do this. Wow. National Look-Up Day, March 12th.
Wow. And so again, go. Look Up and Rock On, live at 89 North on March 12th between 3 and 9, 89 North Ocean Avenue in Patchogue. I want to talk a little bit about the Beading Hearts.
Can we talk about the bands first?
Yes.
I mean, the
So
bands.
Yeah. So would you like to?
The lineup, the people who have come forward to volunteer their time and their talent for this event is unbelievable. We've got Lenny Evans on the piano. We've got the Laurinda Band. We've got the Secret Band with Hall of Famer Ricky Byrd playing.
Wow.
Joan Jett. We've got Opiate Effect and that 70s band. Yep, you heard it. That 70s band is going to be there also. So we're really excited, and it's so generous of all of them to want to be a part of this. It seems like people just want an opportunity to stand up for this, to look up, stand up, rise up,
right,
and not be silent about this anymore.
Right,
we're losing a generation.
Absolutely,
we're losing a generation.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things that when I hear about how they're developing. When you talk just about opiates, just opiates, they talk about how they're developing these oxycodone drugs that are 12 times as strong, and
it's staggering.
And it's when you think about it, and you're somebody that understands the way that this works and how we're losing young people because of it, because of overprescription, because of not understanding how, you know, the opiates work in the brain. It's just, it
Thank you
blows
for
your
saying
mind.
that. Thank you.
To think about that they're developing such things.
Exactly.
So Family Service League is developing a new program in the memory of A.D.A.M called A.D.A.M, which is Addiction, Direction, and Management.
Isn't that amazing?
That is so cool.
And what I love about it is that it takes the family and their loved one together through the process, because we need help from beginning to through, and we need help along the whole way. And so they hold our hands and support us and guide us throughout.
That's so important.
It's so important
because
as a unit.
That's one of the things is addiction is undoubtedly something that affects the entire family, and often the family members feel powerless and
alone,
don't know how to help in a constructive way.
Absolutely.
You know, because some ways that you think that you're helping may be hurting just because you don't understand what the person is going through.
Nothing is clear.
Right.
And the shame and the panic and the fear is so real, is so big. It becomes bigger than almost anything in your life as you're going through it.
And then that's what made me so excited about the Beading Hearts, and it's beading like BEAD, which is please tell me about the Beading Hearts and how you developed that.
Okay, so A.D.A.M used to make these beads, and they were inspirational beads. From the moment he started making them, he would pick beautiful words, he would pick beautiful colors, and he intended them to go on the rearview mirror. The ones I'm wearing today, he made for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Radiant light. It makes so much sense if you know Linda. So you get together?
So I made beads for someone who I knew lost her son, and I wrote, look up for Vaughn, her son. And she called me afterwards. She goes, oh my goodness, these beads, they're amazing. They're so powerful. They're so magical. I look up and I hold them and I smile. And from that moment on, we get together, mommies, daddies, grandmas, sisters, aunts, friends, and we bead once a month. And it started in my home, and we make inspirational heart beads, and we heal broken hearts, one bead at a time.
Unbelievable.
And there are people now asking to open chapters across Long Island, and we're ready. We're ready. So if you know anybody who wants to join us,
how can they get in touch with you?
So you can go on our website, look up for A.D.A.M.
Okay, look up for A.D.A.M.com.
You can go on our Facebook page, look up for A.D.A.M.
Which I absolutely will. I'll be liking it as soon as I get off the air.
You can email me, look up for A.D.A.M. at Gmail. And if you know someone who has lost a loved one to addiction, we would love to make beads for them. It's an offering. It's an offering from us, the Beading Hearts, that they are not alone. They will never be alone. We understand, and we want them to know that there is a hug waiting and there is peace.
Unbelievable. Please, if you are listening, look up and rock on Sunday, March 12th between 3 and 9, 89 North Ocean Avenue in Patchogue, the fundraiser to raise awareness about addiction and support the families affected by this disease. Very misunderstood, although undoubtedly prevalent.
Well, when you consider that Suffolk County has the most drug deaths, overdose deaths in New York State, of 62 counties in New York, including the most populated ones in the 5 boroughs of New York, we're number one.
That's unbelievable.
What a hell of a thing to be number one and first.
We used to be number one in agriculture.
Well, we
used to be.
Now we're number 2 in ag. But we're number one in opiate deaths. And then the other part of this that you were talking about before was the addiction to opium-based painkillers.
That's how
there's a new scourge,
that's
which
how
is
it
making
starts.
Which
over
is
70%.
That's how heroin.
But the other thing that's making its way, and I find this amazing, are the synthetic narcotics. which are stunningly. Apparently you can get a hell of a good buzz, but it will also kill you.
What do you mean? What are those? They.
You tell me. This. I'm just reading about this. The synthetic.
The fentanyl. And
fentanyl leads to mind immediately.
So they're like Mickey Mouse
mixing it in.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And this is just taking people out left and right.
I heard a staggering statistic that I think it was January, there were 31 overdoses in Nassau and 41 in Suffolk County. I had to call the person I heard it from the next day. I'm like, are those numbers, did I really hear that right? In 1 month? That was
one
yeah.
month. I saw somebody, I was at the All-Star over the summer, and I watched a man die because of an overdose on the lawn, and then they shot him with
Narcan.
Yeah, with Narcan, and I watched his heart start to beat again.
Yeah, but that's and in a weird way, thank God for Narcan on the one hand, but on the other,
how do we stop?
We know, if you and I know about the availability of Narcan, then the average addict knows, and it's like, they're almost willing to run the risk because if someone has Narcan, they'll be saved. In the same breath, there's no guarantee that someone with Narcan is going to be around at the moment you need them.
Right.
And
or that you don't take a death. I have to imagine that there's dosages that you can take that
Narcan?
That not even Narcan can save you.
I don't know, but that's the. In fact, all the police departments in Suffolk have that. All of them, including Suffolk County. The Suffolk County Police Department and all the little local departments have it. There are people who have gone. Suffolk County Health Department does constantly does training programs on how to administer this stuff, and a lot of people, private citizens, have it and can use it in the event that they stumble across somebody like that.
Is it available on the open market? That people
Is it by prescription or something like that, or only through the county? I think you can get it.
Okay.
Or through a police department.
Wow.
Because you have to undergo it. You have to go through a training program.
Course, right?
Exactly.
But now I'm just looking at you, and it's like you have done something that no parent ever wants to do. The thing that they dread.
That they shouldn't. No parent should ever have to go through
you've
this.
taken a lemon that life has dealt you, the passing of your son, and you've turned it into lemonade with your cause, and that CD is just really good, by the way.
Thank you.
Whoever produced it did a hell of a job of the.
Thank you. Plug Dare Studio.
Well, they did a good job. They did a really good job.
Dare Studio.
Oh, Dare?
Yeah.
Anyway, but unfortunately, we're out of time.
Thank you so much for having me and this opportunity.
It was my absolute pleasure. I hope to have you and Paul. We'll have Paul in here next time.
Paul's.
He's.
I don't want to say it loud because he could beat me up. He's chicken.
We'll get him in there. We'll rope him in.
Thank you again.
You're very welcome. Join us next week on the Gianna Volpe Report on 1390 WRIV, your hometown station.
Every villain thinks they're a hero, especially on the east end of Long Island. Timothy Dune is one such man. He's a tortured soul, and you won't be able to put down Victor Giannini's new novel, Counselor, as you're reading about him and what could happen to the East End. Roger Rosenblatt of Time magazine called Counselor an important piece of work. Robert Reeve says Counselor is compelling and will linger in your mind. Don't bury your head in the newspaper or in the sand. Read Counselor, Victor Giannini's new novel. Available in paperback or on Kindle from Amazon.com or Silverthought.com. Counselor, the story of what once was an idyllic place that's become home to McMansions and private estates and its effect on one person. Counselor by Victor Giannini. Available on Amazon.com.
An overhead door serves a purpose, and it should be as beautiful as the rest of your home or building. For more than 30 years, Village Overhead Doors has been creating and installing beautiful garage doors for contractors and homeowners on the North and South Forks. They also install automatic garage door openers that open with the click of a remote, so there's no getting out of the car in bad weather. For a wide range of styles, from lifetime steel doors to custom-made wood doors, and for all your garage door needs, please call 765 765-4963 today and find out how your garage door can be a beautiful focal point of your home or building's exterior. Village Overhead Doors of Southall. 765-4963. Make the call and let them add beauty and value to your home or business.